Hello students. Last class we have discussed regarding the site location and how location has to be evaluated when we are setting up a retail. So now we are continuing with the same model. So today we are going to study about the human resource management. We all know what HRM function does. It's the unique job that recruiting and selecting the appropriate employee for the various different levels in the organization. So the main objective of HRM is obviously we know that it's a strategic function. So first, it's all about attracting the right candidate, maintaining them, and managing them so that employee should be in the organization. Employee turnover should be reduced, and he will become a loyal employee of the retail industry or any organization. So basically, it's an organizational function that we all know, and it deals all about issues related to the human resource, people who are working in the organization regarding the compensation, hiring, performance management, organization development, safety of the employee, wellness of employee, benefits, employee motivation, communication, administration, and training. So these all activities are done by HRM. So these lead the satisfaction of the employee and giving the promotions, pay scale, increment, performance, training to the candidate, that all fall from the HRM. So why objectives of HRM in retailing? So to serve as standard against which performance is evaluated, for that we require HRM to know how a candidate is performing. Next, to promote harmony among human efforts and voluntary cooperation. This is the basic necessity of success of any organization, that if you want to maintain harmony, so there should be a coordination and cooperation between the employees in the organization. For that, you require an HRM, and that is the main objective of HRM in retailing. To fulfill the demand of retail industry, there are different skills required in the retail industry. Okay, that will be the main objective. To boost up survival, integrated activities such as employees recruitment, selection, induction, training and development, supervision and compensation in the organization. So this is the main basic, we can say, objectives of any HRM. Okay. Next is the right person at right position. So that is then the best thing which is done by HRM, because a right person at the right position or a right job, if we say, the system develops, automatically the organization develops. Now, what are the functions are performed by human resource in retailing? First, job analysis and job design. You all know how this process happens. You have studied this in your HRM. Recruitment and selection of retail employees. That is the second aspect. Then employees training and development. That is all about training regarding the merchandising training, then in how placing has to be done in retail, how marketing can be done in the retail. So these things all we do in retailing. Then comes the performance management. So obviously that has to be evaluated. We call it as appraisal system. How an employee performing for his increment, compensation, or you can say incentives and promotions. Then automatically after performance and management, then compensation and benefits will be given to the employee. And that is the main role of HR functions, where employee will stay with the organization for a longer time. Labor relations, the laws and everything has to be managed. Then managerial relation with the human resource, which is working in the organization. So these are the basic functions of HR in retailing. Now comes, let's talk about information system and supply chain management. So this has plays a tremendous role in the retail industry at present, if you see. So usage of information system, that ERP, enterprise resource planning system, the tracking system, which has been evolved. You can track your products, you can check your inventory, automatically order your products. So these all things you can do with the help of information system and supply chain management. So let's see it. So objectives, we all know how information system work nowadays, and we have already discussed regarding this. So flow of merchandise and information from vendor to retailer to consumer. So this is how actually the MIS work, Management Information System, because order based, what is ordered, when it is going to come, okay, what is the stock is about to come, everything we can come to know with the help of MIS. And next, IT development facilitating vendor to communication, which is very easy, automated system which is coming up. How do retailers and vendors collaborate to make sure that right merchandise is available when customers are ready to buy? This is the most important aspect of managing the inventory, because when it comes to buying at the exact point of time that has to be delivered, and how does the relation with the customer is maintained. So benefit to vendors and retailers of collaborating with the supply chain management. Okay, then RFID and its effect on retailing that can be checked. Now, creating strategic advantage through supply chain management and information system. So retailers connect customers with vendors who want to provide merchandise. So the connection method, we all know how the order processing happens, how the information is used using the, you can say their websites or their apps or their emails, that we can all can be done, or you can put an inquiry also. It is a retailer responsibility to gauge customer needs and wants and work with other members of the supply chain, distributors, vendors, and transportation companies. You know how this exactly work nowadays. If you look at GeoMart, or if you look at Amazon, if you look at Flipkart, so these all are working very nicely with using of supply chain management and IS, because in time, even medicines, clothes, A to Z items are delivered through this supply chain management process. And in this, the IS is used. So this is to make sure that merchandise is available to customers when they want it. So that is the most important part. If you want to order some product in online, you can check that when you would like to get delivered. You can even set your timings also, and even you can say the date also, because you will be working men will not be available on your place. So at that time, it is required that you can mention that also, at what time your product can be delivered. Supply chain management is a set of business activity that manage the movement of product to retail distribution centers and stores, and the exchange of information between retailers and vendors. Retailers increasingly assuming leadership role with the help of SCM. Small retailers, large manufacturing and vendors determine how, when and where the merchandise is to be delivered. With consolidation and emergence of larger national retail chains, retailers are taking active interest in SCM, that is supply chain management, because the way logistic is being supplied and the improvement in the infrastructure, that has given a tremendous development for especially in retail sector. The size of retailers give them more power over vendors and thus able to control their supply chains. Because the more power you have, the more bargaining power you can do. If you look at D-Mart and Big Bazaar, they offer very highly. The reason because they manage their supply chain very nicely. Idly retailers are more knowledgeable about their customers. And this info is being shared with suppliers to plan production, activity, promotions, deliveries, assortment, and inventory label, which can be easily managed with the IS, that is information system. Now, this is how the typical supply chain work. Okay, so reverse logistic, how flow, there are different method, how actually it works, how it goes to distribution center, from the distribution center to the city hub, okay, from city hub to the retail store, from retail store to customers. Even in online, you can see this, how hubs are divided, okay, nearby hub and cluster head, everything you can come to know with the help. Now, three benefits of supply chain: improved product availability. This is one of the most, you can say, successful thing in retail industry because of supply chain. Because availability of the product, you can nowadays with the help of information system, you can track it very easily. When it is available, when it is going to reach you, at what time it is going to reach you, everything can be easily identified. High return on investment. If you plan well with the supply chain, the cost of supply reduces, okay, and then automatically the return of investment increases with the proper planning system. Then come the strategic advantage: 1 day delivery, 2 day delivery, 3 day delivery, exact time when it is required, that time if you're delivering. So this gives the strategic advantage to the organizations so that they develop. Now, improved product availability. So this is like reduced stockouts and tailored assortment that can be done. If you go and Google it on a YouTube video, how actually this process happens with Flipkart and Amazon, you can check there also. Stockout occurs when SKU a customer wants is unavailable will help in customer retention. So coming to the tailor assortment to make sure that right merchandise is available at the right store. So stores adjust according to merchandise on basis of reason. So retailers use a statistical method to analyze customer data and adjust the assortment. So if you see the efficient supply chain management lead to the following thing. First is the great sales that we all know because of the improved quality and availability of the product at the right time. Then lower cost because we are coming at planned way. Higher inventory turnover because everything is available, it will be moving and information is working with the supply chain. So we can come to know what is there and what is not there and how much to be ordered. That everything is automated, generated. Lower markdown for retailers. Now, higher ROI and efficient supply chain management and ads can improve ROI because it increases sales. Okay, the customer are offered more attractive assortments that are in stock. So automatically it increases the sales and sales increase the profits. The net profit increase gross margin and lower expenses, especially buying opportunities, product bought at low cost and improving the GM. Okay, then comes the margin, lower operating expenses by coordination and reducing the transaction cost. So we all know how planned SCM can reduce the cost. And asset inventory turnover, that efficient supply chain leads to lower inventory levels, lower investment, and total assets are lower, so assets and inventory turnover is also higher. Now coming to the strategic advantage for that, it is difficult to develop. Once developed, it is sustainable enough to give competitive advantage. This is how they frame it with the special supply chain management. If you look at Walmart, high investment in supply chain management and also has large economies of scale because their operation is very high. So efficient coordination within all areas of the company. Information and merchandising flow, how it happens. So we can see the customer, stores, distribution center, vendor, and buyer and planner. If the direct line is all about the information flow and the dotted line shows about the merchandise flow. So customer orders to the stores, okay. This is how the information flows, okay. From there, the buyer and planner, okay, distribution center and the vendor. The information flows from one to one. And from there, then vendor will communicate it to the distribution center, send the products, or even direct to the stores also. And from there, it will be directly delivered to the customer. Information flows, the first comes all about the customer, and from store to store, from to store to the buyer or planner, and from there, you can see the third message, store to the vendor also, and then from buyer or planner to the vendor, and then comes the fifth one, that is buyer planner to the distribution center, then the distribution center to the stores message, and then our vendor to the distribution center. This is how information flows with the different segment. And if there is no distribution center, it will come from directly vendor to the store also. And if you look at step one, the cashier scans the UPC, that you know, universal product code, and generates a sales receipt number one. Okay, this information regarding the transaction is captured at POS, terminal, point of sale, and sent to central computer system where it can be accessed by the planner of the product category. That is number two. And in step three, sales transaction data are sent to the distribution center that you can see here. And then in step four, when store inventory drops to a specified level, more stock sent to the store, and this info is sent to the computer system number 5. And so the planner knows the inventory level. So in step 5, when inventory level drops to a specified level, number 4, the planner places the order and informs to the DC, that is center, distribution center. That is number 5 that we have seen here. And in step 6, when manufacturing ships the order, sends an ASN to the distribution center number 7. So this how the information flows. And then comes the step 7. When order is received, the planner is notified and pays the vendor fund. So you can say this. And then comes certain situations, data sent from store directly to the vendor number. So this situation also will happen from store to the vendor also. Now comes the data warehouse. Okay, this is the most important part nowadays, which is working with the IS system. Purchase data collected at point of sale, collected in a huge database known as data warehouse. So information can be accessed at various levels. You can get it on SKU, you can get it at vendor, category, department, merchandise, store division, company. Who purchased what, how frequently he purchased, from where he is, everything can be assorted. You can use their mobile numbers and everything can be, we can easily get to know. So used to collect information about customer as to modify promotion and products. Now comes the EDI, that is electronic data interchange. So communications between vendor and retailer occur via EDI, that is electronic data interchange. So it is a computer to computer exchange of business documents in a structured format. So here a specific symbol used. Benefits of this EDI: reduce cycle time or time to place order and accept because of the automated system. Improves overall quality with better record keeping and lesser efforts. Everything is automatically generated and automatically transactions are saved. So data available in an easy to read format. Now push and pull supply chains. One is a pull supply chains, another one is a push supply chains. When it comes to pull supply chain wherein order for merchandise are generated at store level on basis of sales data captured by POST, that is point of sale terminal. And in second, demand for an item pulls it through the supply chain. So here less chance of stock out because since inventory is based on consumer demand, not on the already we are, because it is a pull supply chain. Increases inventory turnover, become useful when demand is erratic, requires sophisticated costly IT system. Investment is very huge here and big companies go according to this. For some fashion merchandise, retailers cannot adjust inventory according to the demand. And coming to the push supply chain, here merchandise is allocated through the store on the basis of forecasted demand. So forecast developed inventory shipped at regular intervals, used for predictable demand, and thus retailers use the combination of the strategies. And one side is a pull supply chain strategy, another one is push supply chain strategies. Now coming to the logistics side. So we all know how logistic work, and the famous logistic, you all know how FedEx work, how VRL work. There are huge logistics systems are working. RNS is also there. So what is logistic? You all know that it is the physical flow of the merchandise within the supply chain, and these people take care of it. And is the aspect of supply chain management that refers to the planning, implementation, and control of efficient flow and storage of goods, services, and related information from the point of origin to point of consumption to meet consumer requirement. So this is the main, you can say, the success of any businesses. That is all about the management of the logistic. Okay, how logistic work? It will be merchandise to the vendor to the distribution center, or merchandise to the distribution center and from distribution center to the store, or merchandise vendor to store. So these are the three different logistic methods are used. And collaboration between vendors and retailers in supply chain management. So main objective for retailers and vendors is to make stock available in stores when customer want it, and to achieve this task with minimum cost and investment. So this can be done only through the supply chain and using the IS system at present level. So supply chain efficiency dramatically improves when vendors and retailers share information and work together, working with the systems. Okay, so information has to be exchanged so that vendor will come to know how much requirement is going to come. According to that, he will supply the whatever grocery, or it might be any different merchandise. So here vendor can make sure that inventory is available And GIT, when the retailer need it, that is just in time, retailer needs without having excess inventory. So when retailers and vendors do not coordinate their supply chain management activities, excess inventory builds up in the system even if the retail sales for that product is constant. And this effect is called bullwhip effect. Okay. So what happens is, for example, uh, if there is no communication, it create the dilemma. How much is required? What is required? If it is not properly told and not communicated with the vendors, so here there will be a gap. Okay, so okay, this what to supply, how much to supply, what is the quantity? This can be easily management only through the coordination between the retailers and vendors. So this occurred due to delay in transmitting the order and receiving merchandise, overacting to shortages, and ordering in batches. Now, four approaches for coordinating supply chain activities are using the EDI that we already discussed, sharing the information, using vendor management inventory software, that is again IS, then employing collaborative planning, forecasting, and replenishment, that is CPFR. So these are the method which can be used for coordinating with the supply chain activities with the vendors. Now, using EDI, this is all we know. It's used to transmit the purchase order info, reduce the time taken for retailer to place order, and for vendors to acknowledge the receipt and communicate delivery info. So this is how EDI used. And coming to the sharing information, excess inventory caused due to inability of vendors to know what actual level of store sales are. Everything can be, we can share it. So if they know they are increasing, production schedule can be planned according to that. So if you look at Walmart retailing, data warehouse and decision support system that provides vendor with 2-year sales history and inventory levels for products across 5,000 stores. And this is why the Walmart is very successful with their SCM. So with sharing, those vendors can improve their sales forecast, production efficiency, and reduce excess inventory also. Now with the vendor management managed inventory, that is VMI. So it's an approach for improving supply chain efficiency in which the vendor is responsible for maintaining the retail inventory level at each of these stores. How much minimum he want to maintain using. So he can use this vendor management managed inventory. So it is a recorder point, okay, a level of inventory at which more stock is required. The retailer share the data with the vendor through the, again, same thing, that is EDI. So when the inventory drops to the order point, the vendor generates the order, okay, reverse purchase order, and delivers the merchandise through the automated system. So usually applied at the retailers and distribution centers, but difficult for the retailer to know other actions of vendor, that is SP schemes for competitors brands. If you look at Tal and JC Penney or Frito-Lay, these are all international brands. They use such systems. CPFR, that is collaborative planning, forecasting, and replenishment. So is the sharing forecast and related business information and collaborative planning between retailers and the vendors to improve supply chain efficiency and product replenishment. So what happens here is the retailer shares sales in inventory data when using VMI approach, and whereas vendor is responsible for managing the inventory on behalf of the retailer. So CPFR is an advanced form of retailer vendor collaboration that involves sharing of proprietary information such as business strategy, promotion plans, new product development, etc. with the vendor. So Walmart and Procter & Gamble use this method. And RFID, that is the radio frequency data identification, that is again come as a part of IS. So it is a technology that allows an object or person to be identified at the distance using radio waves. So these device or tags are inserted into ocean-going containers on shipping cartons behind merchandise labels. So they transmit data about the object in which they are embedded. Okay, so is more superior than the barcode system with ability to store more data and upload data on the devices. So example, if you see, it can keep a track of where the item is in supply chain and where it is stored in a distribution center. So especially it is used for the international level. So data can be obtained even harsh environments also. So RFID enables real-time tracking of the product from manufacturing to check out in the store. So it eliminates manual point and read operations needed to get data from UPC. Okay, and thus it can significantly decrease warehouse and distribution inventory cost, increases margins, and provide better in stock condition because its real-time data can be collected and it is more worth than the barcode system. Now benefits, if you see, it reduces warehouse and distribution labor cost because reduce manual tracking and labor intensive sensor for point and road read approach. Using the devices, you can track it. So human efforts reduced here. Then reduces point of sale labor cost, reduces cost for checking shelf inventory, increases the use of self scan and reduce the incidence of employee fraud. So inventory savings reduces errors, reduces theft, reduces out of stock condition. That is help to streamline supply chain and the high cost of purchase, processing and implementation. If you check, pantaloons is the example of RFID. Now after the supply chain and information system that we already covered, now let's study about the retail pricing process, how actually it happens. So we all know what is pricing. So we know that retail say quality product for right price. So this is how they attract the customers. Okay, and the right price and who sets it, who is the decider, and what are the different factors and strategies that determine the price for what we buy. So any success retail stores, that is all about is its pricing strategy and of the products and services they are providing. So happy customers are depends on totally the price and the quality of the product. So if the customer are happy, obviously the require investment for production and to generate the revenue. Now, if you look at what is retail pricing, it's all about at what price the product is sold to the end consumer is called the retail price of the product. And coming to the factors which are going to affect the retail pricing. So there are two aspects. One is an internal factor and another one is external factors. So coming to the internal factors, that is all about the manufacturing cost. You all know, you also have studied this. Okay, so we know how manufacturing cost, different variable cost, fixed cost. Okay, different taxes are involved. Everything that all comes as a manufacturing cost. And second is the predetermined objective. So if you look at the retail company, whereas with the time and market situations, if the objective is to increase return on investment, then the company may charge a higher price. So if the objective is to increase market share, if the company is new in the market, so then they may charge at a lower price just to attract more and more customer footfall. And third is image of the firm, that obviously matters a lot. Okay, so the companies with large goodwill such as Procter and Gamble can demand a higher price for their products because their image is very strong and they supply the quality products also. Next comes the product status. So it's all about the life cycle of the product, in which stage it is, whether it is in an introduction stage or developing stage or mature, where it is maturity stage or declining stage. So at the time of introducing the product in the market, the company may charge lower price for it to attract new customers. So when the product is accepted and established in the market, the company increases the price. So promotional activity then comes most important part. So all sales promotions and marketing efforts cost are put into the calculation for charging the price. So these are all internal factors. Now coming to the external factors, competition always matters a lot. If there is a huge competition, there is a price war, then there will be the problem of facing the low pricing strategy. And if there is a very less competition, then you can charge very high. Coming to buying power of the consumer, this is again the most important part. And the sensitivity of the consumer toward price variation and purchasing power of the consumer contribute to the setting the price, how much they charge. If you look at the pricing strategy of different countries also, it varies, and from even place to place also. Next comes the market conditions, sorry, government policies. You all know how government policies work and their rules and regulation regarding all we know GST and all. So this when it is coming to from state to state and all, so there are different tax and duties are levied on it. Now comes the market condition. So it's recession, inflation, what type of condition is going on. So it's all about change the pattern of buying. To modify their buying behavior, the product price are set less when there is a recession to attract more and more customers. Next comes the level of channels involved in the distribution center. More channels are involved, the more the margin added and more the pricing increases. So how the deeper, that much the higher would be the product price. How the lesser, that much be the lesser price for the product. So these are the factors. Now coming to the pricing strategy, that is the first comes the demand oriented pricing strategy. So in this, either we can go from high to low or low to high. So first comes the price skimming. Okay, initially in this, you all know that product is charged at high price that the customer is willing to pay, and then it decreases gradually with time. This is especially for the electronic products or the cloth, you can say. Odd even pricing, the customer perceive prices like 99.99, 11.49 to be cheaper than 100. This is how psychological pricing actually works. Then comes the penetration pricing. So here, first the price is charged very less, okay, to compete with other products, and then allow more customer to penetrate it. Then come prestige pricing, is the all about the quality, because higher the price, higher the quality expectations. Then comes the price bundling, and this is the offer of additional product or services is combined with the main product together with special prices. That is all price bundling. Next comes the cost oriented pricing strategy. This is the method of determining prices that takes a retail company's profit objectives and production cost into account. And these methods include the following. First is cost plus, then markup, then formula. We have studied this in our economics also. In cost plus pricing, the company sets price little above the manufacturing cost. Example, if you see, the cost of product is 600 per unit and the market expect 10% profit, then the selling price is set to rupees 660. That is cost plus pricing. Markup pricing, it's all about calculated as percentage of the selling price and not as the percentage of the cost price. The formula used to determine the selling price here is the selling price is equal to average unit cost divided by the selling price. So this is how they calculate it. Next, coming to the break-even pricing, we all have studied this in our economics, managerial economics also. So where there will be costs are equal to the revenue, there will be no loss or no profit. If fixed cost is 2 lakh and variable cost per unit is 15 and selling price is 20, so automatically it is break-even we are achieving with this. And how we calculate, we use the formula that we have already seen this in our economics in first semester. So contribution is calculated by selling price minus variable cost, and the fixed cost will be divided with it. Now come the target return pricing. So the retail company sets prices in order to achieve a particular return on investment. Okay, so this can be calculated using the following formula. That is the total cost plus desired percentage of investment that company is expecting and divided by total sales in units. If you look at example, the total investment is 10,000. So ROI we are expecting 20%. Total cost is actually 5,000 and the total expected sales are 1,000 units. And the target return price will be 7 per unit as shown below. How? 5,000 using the formula and using the 20% on 10,000. Okay, that is total investment, and then divided by 1,000, that is the number of units, so we get rupees 7. So this is how target return pricing is done, and this method ensures that price exceed all costs and contributes to the good number of profit. Next is early cash recovery pricing. Here, when market forecast depict short life, it is essential for the price sensitive product segments such as fashion and technology to recover the investment. So sometimes the company anticipate the entry of a large company in the market. In these cases, the companies price their product to shorten the risk and maximize short-term profit. So you find, so how many offers, okay, the company is giving offer, discounts and all. Next is the competition oriented pricing strategy. So here, when a retailer company sets the prices for its product, depending on how much the competitor is charging for a similar product, it is competition oriented pricing, comparing with both the products. How much he is charging, according to that we have to charge, because to be in the market. Competitors parity. Here the retail company may set the price as close as the giant competitor in the market. That is competitors parity. Or discounting pricing, here product is priced at low cost if it is lacking some features than the competitor's product. But if it is meeting as per the competitor's product, then come the parity. Or else some things will be missing in the quality aspect and all. So it will be charged very less. Now differential pricing strategy. Here comes the customer segment pricing. So price is charged differently for customer from different customer segment. If you look at example, purchase online may be charged less as the cost of service is low for the segment of online customers. This is simple thing to understand. Time pricing. So here depending on the time, season, occasion. Okay. So if you look at resort is the best example for this, because they charge more for their vacation packages depending on the time of the year. Now December is coming up, so obviously if you want to travel Goa, the costs are very high. But due to the pandemic situation, the costs are very less. That is all time price. Location pricing. The retailer charges price depending on where the customer is located. So example, if you see front row seats of a drama theatre are charged high price than the rear row seats, and only for the drama. But when it comes to the PVR and all, the back seats are charged very high, the front seats are charged very less. This is all about the unit.